Hi, this is Maggie from Design Code Debug Repeat. If you're a beginning programmer, a beginning game programmer, beginning data analyst, a programming teacher, or if you just find this content interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be posting lessons, tips, and cool programming stuff regularly. So you can see that today I'm in RStudio, and behind RStudio here I have a page from the 2020 census from census.gov, and this is the apportionment population by state. And over here from senate.gov I have a list of US senators. And because it seems that Roe v. Wade is going to be overturned imminently, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the makeup of the Senate and the percentage of people in the US population who are represented in the Senate by the different senators, and specifically how many people are represented by the Republican senators and how many people are represented by the Democratic senators. So I'm going to begin by creating a project. And what I'll do is upload this project to a GitHub repository for you so that you could download it and play with it if you want to. So I'm actually just going to pause the video while I create that project, and then we'll see what we can get from those two websites that we can then import in, wrangle a little bit, and see what we can get for visualizations. Let's go ahead and read these in. So we'll import them. Throw that in here. Okay, so we're gonna read in the apportionment population. And now let's read our senators in. Let's call this one just population. We can call it population 2020. Let's change the name. So let's look at name, down here. Okay, so let's just change that. All we need is the state and the apportionment population, and we can just change those two to state and population. Okay, good. And then population. For some reason, the cursor or the insertion point doesn't go where I'm looking. It goes where it is. Okay, or let's go. Why did I make that so long? And we'll pipe that to select, and I can't remember, do we have to? Yeah, probably. It's been a while since I've worked in R. Okay, so there we are, I'm clicking. There we go. Now we've just got the state and the population. Much better. So, not that the other columns were hurting, I just didn't need them, so got rid of them. Okay, and then actually probably didn't even need to rename them, right? We could have just pulled out, but I didn't want to use those long names that were there before. Okay, so what do we have with the senators? All we care about is senator's name, state, and party. So let's give those some new names. Okay, I'm going to use the snipping tool as sort of a whiteboard. So what I'd like to do, and I'm going to use a bar chart, because basically I'm going to represent two numbers, and those numbers are going to be percentages. So that's one visualization. It's just going to be two bars, percentage of population represented by Democrats and percentage of population represented by Republicans in the Senate. And then I think for another visualization, what I'd like to do is take the population of each state and divide it between its two senators. And then just from highest population to lowest population, and I am not going to draw 50 little, or rather 100 little bars, but I will color the bars red and blue, and just a visualization of the percentage of the population that each of the individual senators represents. And again, by splitting the state's population between the two senators of that state. So those are the two visualizations that I would like to make. Okay, so which means that there should be 100 rows in senators, right? Is it N row? Yeah, okay. So there's 100 rows in senators. So yeah, we actually don't need the name. So we just need the state and the party. Senators. Okay, state and party. So now we've got 100 rows, state and party. And then in Pop 2020, not sure what's in there. Got 52. Okay, so shoot, District of Columbia. That is really something to consider, right? Is that we have these territories that have absolutely no representation in the Senate, and that is also really important and probably should be included in a good visualization. But I'm not going to do that yet. But let me make a note to myself. Include a bar for percentage of the population without Senate representation. Did we have a tea party about that once? All right. So what we want to do is we want to basically merge our tables, right? So we want to take this one that says Wisconsin Democratic, and then we want to take the population of Wisconsin and stick half of it, divide it in two, and have a column here, which is the Wisconsin's population divided by 2. That's perfect. Now we've got the data that we need to work with, and let me just do the head of it down here so I have it in front of me. All right. So the first thing that we can do is that 2-bar chart that I wanted to do, which just shows for each party the percentage of the population that they represent. So what we want is to get a total of the population which is Republican and a total of the population which is Democratic. So pretty simple, actually. And let's look at party summary and see what we have. Okay, Democratic. Oh, well, I forgot about independents, didn't I? Okay. So you can see just by looking at the totals, actually, so this is total population, that the Democratic senators represent a lot more of the population. So let's see, can we do a percentage here? Okay, and let's look at party summary now. Okay, so there are percentages. Democratic 56%, Republican 44% if we round up, and Independent less than 0.5%. I'm not super good with ggplot, but I think we can do something very quick here. And that's going to be quick and dirty. But I think it would look a lot nicer, and we could certainly add these things if we had colors. Now, actually, to make the second chart, which I think we basically have the data that we need in pretty much the format we need it in, we're just going to want to sort it after we mutate a little bit. But we're definitely going to want to have the columns in our column chart shaded with appropriate colors. Okay, so I won't make the same mistakes before. I'll define my party colors before I try to fill that there. So not too horrible. At least it's not, 0000FF, which is, really awfully bright. Okay, so we've got that looking okay. And now what I want to do is create the visualization, which is all of the senators ordered by percentage and in the color for their party. Okay, now let's try now we've got percent column. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's not sorted yet. This is cool. We have some of them stacked. I didn't want that, but I guess because it's by state. That's kind of fun just to see, even though that is not what I wanted at all. And we're probably just gonna want to take out axis labels. Could be interesting if we wrote them on the columns. Let's see. So let's sort. Well, no, we need to get it separated out. So we don't really want it by x equals state, because then we're getting stacked, and we may as well just have the state. So probably should have kept the senator names in there. Okay, now we're not stacked anymore, but we're not ordered. Okay, I reran the whole thing just to get us back to where we were, and I think that because it's been ordered already, that right here, that maybe I can create the names into a factor and order by the names factor that's already there. That was it. Okay, all right. Now this I need to remember because I am just terrible at ordering factors. Okay, so I'm not sure if this plot is really much better than this plot in giving us a picture of the Senate. But we can, this is California, of course. Oh, and of course we need to get rid of this stuff down here. California, and then we've got two big Republican states, which are Texas and I guess Florida. Is this one ordered? Yeah, that one's ordered. So, yep, Texas and Florida. And then we get to Democratic state of New York. It's funny how some of them are kind of squished together. But, you've got blocks of blue and blocks of red, and we do know that the blues total up to more than the red, and of course the green is very small. But I'm not sure if this one is really giving me significant information, except that it does show us that there are states that represent an enormous percentage of the population and states that barely have any of the population. We can see that there's this sort of tail of red here, and there's definitely a larger concentration of blue. So we have some populous states that just don't have the representation. They have the same representation as this tail of red. So those are the visualizations that I wanted to do to look at the Senate and how important it is in our democracy, yet it is not representative of the population. So I thought it was an interesting exercise. And again, I do think that this is probably a better visualization. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to talk to me about it, please make a comment below. I'm interested in your opinion. And please feel free to download the data or fork the data from my repository and play with it yourself. If you enjoy this sort of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Take care.